All right. So I wasn't gonna do a review on this movie. I was just watching it just for fun, just for myself. But I had to stop this movie like a little bit more than halfway because I was like, I want to do like a half of the review and then do the rest when I actually finish the movie. I'm watching Casino. Okay, I've never seen Casino. I'm watching a lot of movies that I've heard are really good and I haven't seen them. So I'm watching Casino, and this movie's good, but bro, like, first of all, I love Robert De Niro and his films. As an actor, he's great. I've seen him in a lot of films, but this is the first time I've ever seen him in a character, and I'm like getting disappointed by him. Like, I like his character, but his character's making some wrong choices with the shorty, and with Sharon Stone, and bro, she's a hooker, bro. Like, you know this already, and he still wants to marry her, and still wants to save her, like, and I it's just I guess it's about love. Like, he has like this love. And not I guess it's a love. He has an affinity for her since the moment he sees her. He loves her style. He loves everything about her, and he even says it in the film, in the narration. He's like, I heard the stories, but I can change her. And it's like, it's like some women are like that. Women are like that too when they love a man. They're like, oh, I can change him. I can change him. So I understand, but it's just it sucks watching his character go through this. And here's the thing. I'm gonna say spoilers because Casino came out mad long ago. I'm gonna let you know I'm giving spoilers to this movie, heavy spoilers, because I have to say this because I want to see what happens. And it's not really a spoiler, but it is. The beginning of Casino starts with Robert De Niro getting in a car and it blowing up, and presumably him dying. And then he's narrating the whole film basically, and so I want to see what happens. So that's an interesting way to start. So I want to see what happens, who does it. But here's the thing. I'm at the part of the film, I paused it, where Robert De Niro's wife, see, I almost called her a girlfriend because that's how she's acting. She's acting like a girlfriend, not a wife. I don't see her taking care of kids too much, and she's just asking for $25,000 randomly, like a side piece, like, oh, I just need money for something, but it's for her freaking old pimp. And I like how the story humanizes her because you even hear her talk about early in the film, like she met him when she was 14. She was on the street since she was 14. So she's been being hooker, and he's been pimping her out since she's 14. So to her, this guy's like a god. He's messed with her mind and warped her mind. That's how these pimps do it. He had her since she was a little girl. So this is like her dad, her pimp. It's like all twisted and messed up. So I understand. But it's just like, damn, this is such a conundrum. And then Robert De Niro was dealing with all of this. And he knows about the pimp and stuff. He just thought, she left him behind and stuff. And, they just beat this pimp up when I think they should have killed him. And he made his wife watch a little bit. And she's screaming, crying for him like that's her man. And that's her dad or whatever. Like, she's like so attached to this pimp. And like I said, I don't know how it ends yet. I'm going to press play right after I do half of this review, finish it, and then I'll probably do the rest of my review tomorrow, depending on how I feel after the film. But so far, I'm going to see if my prediction is right. What I think, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I mean, nah. See, a part of me is going to say I don't think Sharon Stone is going to be the one to kill him, but she kind of is killing him. If it's not her, it's indirectly her. So if she doesn't kill him and she doesn't put that car bomb in his car, I think it's going to be the pimp because they beat him up and I don't want to curse, but he's a baby cat. He's a pussy cat. And they just beat him up. So he's going to come back and do what he can. And he knows he can't take them on. He has no people, whatever. So he's going to do something shady. And I think that the pimp is going to be the end of Mr. Robert De Niro. And we'll see if I'm right. If I'm not right, I'll be very mistaken. And we'll see. But so far, I'm enjoying the film. What I will say is that when this film started, this film was 3 hours, first of all, which is fine. Older movies are a little bit longer, especially made by Martin Scorsese. He makes some pretty long films. But back in the day, they had a lot of films with narration. This film has a lot of narration. When the first 45 minutes of me watching the film, I was enjoying it, but a part of me, my mind had to kind of go backwards in time and think about when this film was made, because Nowadays, you don't really see a lot of films with a lot of heavy narration. This is narration like probably every 5 to 7 minutes, narration for like 3 minutes at a time. But while the narration is going on, you're seeing it play out. Like he directs it so masterful that the narration, at first I thought it would bother me, but while he's doing the narration, he has a lot of the key elements of the story going. And it's almost like the narration is the narration itself is a character. Obviously, it's Robert De Niro and different characters who doing the narration, but the narration itself feels like it feels like it feels like it is the film. Like you're watching it as a medium, but the narration is literally tying everything together. But the way it does it is like it's it, it's so it's so interesting to the film, or it's the narration. Like I'm trying to think, if they made this movie without the narration, would it be as good? And I don't think I think the answer is no. I think it would still be a good film, but the narration gives it a certain feel. You know what I mean? Like imagine me walking in here and then you hear a narration like he was so cool, calm and collected, and yet so anxious. Like it just narration adds something to it. And I think it adds that kind of noir feel, I think. Almost like a noir. My dad showed me Sin City. I remember when he showed me those Sin City movies. He loved those films. I want to watch those again. But those films had narration too. And it gives it a noir, kind of like old school, classic feel. And I think the movie itself is a classic, but this is perfect. I'm talking about classics. One of my favorite movies when I was a kid that my dad showed me again, and then I also showed my little brother, and he loved it too, which just proves that it's a staying classic, which is the movie Stand By Me, which I'm sure if you know that movie, you love it. If you don't love it, then I don't know what to tell you. It's a classic, Stand By Me. So that like coming of age story of those kids and everything, that movie has narration too, and it gives it a classic feel, a classic kind of. This film has more of a noir feel with the drugs and all those different things going on, but Stand By Me has it just narration done right. It kind of makes something feel almost timeless. The way that it's if it's done right, that's kind of how I feel about it. Because the more I think about Stand By Me and the way it starts and the dogs and everything, like it just feels timeless. I think something about narration makes stuff feel timeless, and and if done right. And I feel like it's done beautifully so far. I don't know it's gonna be good the rest of the film. I'm just curious how this is gonna end, and I'm pretty much doing my whole review right now. But I'm gonna see how it's gonna end, and I'm gonna come right back, and we're gonna see. I'll let you know. Um, but sheesh, we'll see. I think the pimp kills him, and if he does, I'm kind of pissed off because he should take him out. They should take him out, man. Shoot. But other than that, I'm gonna go back in and finish Casino. I got an hour and I think 25 minutes left, and then I'll go from there. But hopefully, guys, you enjoying your day or your nights and any cool films. And yeah, there's a lot of films we all haven't seen. Like there's so much films. Like before I go, one more film I definitely want to see is Hunt for Red October. The Hunt for Red October I've never seen, but I've heard it's very good. Obviously, sometimes movies are so far behind our time, sometimes we don't end up seeing it. But sometimes we do. Like I've seen Indian in the Cupboard. I'm born in 1996. I've seen Indian in the Cupboard. I've seen Never Ending Story. But my dad showed me a lot of cool movies. But sometimes you can't see every free film in the world, but you can try to see the best ones. So so I'm gonna check out Hunt for Red October for sure. But yeah. And the next thing I think I'm gonna see after this is Superman 2. So that'll be good. I can't wait to see Superman 2. I've seen with Christopher Reeve. That one I've seen I think pieces of it when I was a kid. So I'm gonna see it as an adult, see how I feel about it. I already watched part one, and that's my reviews on the channel. But I'm gonna go back and finish this film. I know I'm babbling, but this film is just making me think about so much stuff right now. All right, back to the casino. All right, so I finished Casino. That was pretty good. So it ended up being his best friend who takes him out, or who I thought would take him out. the film makes you think it, and I really did. I actually did believe the film in the beginning. I thought it was one of those stories for Shirley. He was really gonna be gone, so it was interesting that he was like pretty much the lone survivor after all of it, and you know, he got the bats. He got taken out by a lot of bats, so like baseball bats. So that was pretty interesting. Like, you know, there's only one way out in his line of work, so he got it, and that was it. But I did enjoy the film, and then the wife, Sharon Stone, you know, she ends up basically, you know, she gets. I feel like she gets taken out too, because the guy says in the autopsy report that she gets it looked like she was injected with a lot of stuff that she was using. So yeah, it was a good film. I do think it's definitely, you know, a big love story too. A big tragic love story in there. I didn't expect that. When people talk about Casino, I never really hear tragic love story. I just hear, oh, go watch this good like gang movie, or like a good like it's just a good thriller, or not a thriller. It's just like, it's just a good gang movie, or old school kind of movie. So I didn't expect that, and like it's just like it's crazy. Like I did not want to see Robert De Niro go through that. I was watching and I was just like, because I mean, people go through it, but she told him, even when he asked her to marry him, she told him, she said, I don't love you, and he was pulling on her. He was pulling on her. But the truth is, man, some people got to go through it. But if someone says they don't want to be with you, man, listen to them the first time. It's hard, but you gotta accept it, and you just gotta move forward, because that was his whole downfall. His whole downfall. It's just like, dang, like if he chose someone who chose him, it'd be different, you know. But shoot, and he had to kill her. It was crazy. Like, he trusted her so much. It was like so much stuff with that, yo. And then his friend, man, like I didn't even wait. I didn't even want to look at the screen when his friend started messing with his shorty, with his wife. I was like, come on, man. Like, she know how to play people. She know how to work people. All she care about is money. She know how to work people. And like, it's funny because Robert De Niro tells her, he's like, I'm not no Mark. I'm not no John. But he really is, though. She tricked him out as long as she could. As long as he could handle it. You know, and he, you know, as strong as I thought he was, you know, his heart was in the front. He could not get away from his feelings, man. It was insane. I was just like, the strong man. I mean, but that's how it happens. The strongest man, sometimes he gets taken down by the woman. But shoot, there was so many signs she told him. I was just like, dang, I just can't believe this happened to Robert. I never seen him in a movie where like he gets played so bad like this, like, you know, but yeah. So, and you know what it is? I know what it is. I know why I'm watching this film and I'm kind of mourning Robert De Niro's like being a strong man and letting this girl go crazy on him, because I recently watched Heat for the first time. I watched Heat, I think maybe about 4 or 5 months, probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and I watched it, and he was such a player in that one. And it wasn't that he was such a player. He actually, his heart gets in the way in that one too. But ultimately, at the end of Heat, he does exactly what he says. He sticks to his morals. He sticks to his code, which is, if you feel the heat coming out the block, you gotta leave. You're like in 3-minute flats or whatever he says. Like, and the end of Heat, he goes, and it's like you have that respect for him, because it's like he said that, and he lived by it. You know, he tried to take the girl he liked in the Heat, but his heart got away in there too. But at the end of the day, he was gone. You know what I mean? So you get that little respect for him. And this, I have a lot of respect for him in the movie. But then as it goes on, and Sharon Stone's like just stripping this man of everything, as far as like, you know, like, shoot, man, he just, the boundaries, and then it's just crazy, man. Like, he should have listened to her. He should have got out. But he was so in love. He was so over heels, and she was just not with it. She told him, but he was trying to control. He's, man. But tragic love story, gang violence, all of that stuff is in there. Good film, 3 hours, so check that out. And I want to see some more stuff, but I want to see Robert De Niro be a badass again. So I gotta watch something else now. I gotta look up some movies where he's on point. You know what I mean? Because I can't end up on this. We can't end like this. Shoosh. But yeah, that's my review. Take care. I know it's pretty long, but I did have a lot to say. This movie's 3 hours long, man. It's like reviewing Avatar, Last Airbender. Or not Avatar, Last Airbender. Avatar, you know, Avatar, The Way of Water and stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. hopefully someone enjoyed this, and take care. Spread love and light, and how we gonna sign off.